We've found our way to the Deep Silver booth in a very zombie-themed room, together with Sebastian from Deep Silver, producer on Dead Island. For the people who somehow managed to miss Dead Island, especially with the now very famous trailer, can you tell us a bit about the concept of the game?
Basic idea of the game is, what does a zombie game need to be awesome? So we basically took everything from other games and made it into one. And the most important thing about the game is that it's not this, might there be a zombie behind the corner? It's direct in your face. You will encounter a huge crowd of zombies and you're just thinking, how do I survive this? So it's very tactical, it's all about survival, and all gameplay elements focus around this survival theme and make sure that you don't rush simply into something and just kill thousands of zombies. It's really pretty tactical.
You have some role-playing elements in the game as well, with leveling up and stuff like that. How come you decided to put that into a zombie game?
It perfectly fits into the survival concept, because you start as a pretty normal guy on an island and you just take a paddle to kill some zombies just because you have no other choice. So the idea is, what will happen if they do this for hours? They will improve. And the best thing to demonstrate this improvement is a nice skill system, because it's fun.
Can you tell us a bit about the main character, who they are and why are they on this island?
Well, our four main characters have all their different, because are not correlated in any way, so they have all their own reason why they're on the island. Xiang Mei, for example, is working there. Sambi is an ex-hip-hop star who has a gig there. He plays his one and only hit song over and over again. Others are just there for vacation. The island is beautiful, at least until the zombies appear. And yeah, so they're running around there and trying to survive. To make sure that they're interesting to you, we made sure that all of them have something recognizable from other games. For example, Zambi is more like a tank, so he has a lot of hit points, he's very good with blunt weapons. Xiang Mei, for example, is the assassin. She does a lot of damage but won't take a lot of hits. Purna is something like a leader kind of type. When she's around, everyone just becomes better. But don't think that you have to stay out of the fight because of that. She's very good with firearms. So as soon as you get ammunition, she will rock.
Yeah, because speaking of ammunition, a big focus of Dead Island is on melee combat. And that's tricky to get right in a first-person game. How have you gone about designing that part?
Well, of course, it was a lot of iterations because it is tricky. And the reason for that is simple, because the immersion is so much stronger. Today I had so much fun watching the people, how they smile when they smash a zombie head, because they're doing it up close and the blood is all over the screen, so it's, again, directly in your face. So it's a lot of fun, and the feel is just better because you're right into it.
Looking at the zombies in general, we have a lot of different zombie games and stuff coming out now. But where did you find the inspiration for the zombies era? Are we talking modern zombies, kind of quick zombies that we have in modern zombie films, or John Romero films where they're slow and lumbering?
I simply say yes, because we have the slow ones, we have the fast ones, we have the mutated ones, we have all kind of zombies. So that's a lot of different things, and this is how we got our ideas. We love zombies. We watched a lot of movies, from classic zombie movies to weird splatter films. We played a lot of zombie games, and there comes our inspiration from. It's like, okay, this is cool and this is cool and we should have some of those, and yeah, so we put it together and make it work.
What's the general tone of the game? We saw the first trailer, of course, which caused quite a stir. And that was kind of dark and serious. Even a child died in it. But in the actual game, what's the tone? Is it humor? Or is it the desperation we see in Left 4 Dead, for example? What have you been aiming for?
The goal is still being extremely serious. That was the reason for the trailer. So the basic tone is there. And we're very happy that it still works out, because it was quite tricky to manage it, giving people an electric machete, which is quite over the top, and still keep this dark and brutal theme to it. but thanks to the way you have to play the game, that you have to think about every action you do, the atmosphere is still there. You won't lose that, because it's so threatening all the time, the game, that you will keep this serious attitude all the time. It's not like, yeah, and now I jump into 10 zombies and see what happens, because you know what will happen.
You also have a pretty strong multiplayer part where people can jump in and jump out of each other's games. How important was that from the beginning of designing that island?
Extremely, because as soon as you start to have a game that has story and an open world, the multiplayer part is something like a tremendous multiplicator to all tasks. Even, for example, the third-person animations. You're not thinking about, okay, I have my first person looks good, so everything is fine. You doubled the work. So this was always in there, and we even don't like to call it multiplayer mode, because it's basically one game mode, and when someone wants to join, he joins. And when he wants to leave, he leaves, and he doesn't bother you with that. That's important, because we want to prevent that people are waiting in a lobby for a game, and you only have 15 minutes to play, and 10 of them you waste with waiting for the other players, and then you don't have enough time to finish your quest or something like that. So in this game, it's about jumping in, having fun, stopping whenever you like.
It's a very story-based game, as you've been pointing out, and jumping in and out of each other's games. How does it work if you're, say, 20 hours into the game? I'm 2 hours into the game. Have you managed to, or have you even tried to make the work together? Or it's just simply that I will take part of your story if I jump into your game?
The game will never recommend you to join a guy who is 10 levels above you or stuff like that, because this will change your game experience completely. But again, if that's your friend and you want to play with him, then play with him. The game will warn you something like, okay, you encounter a big bunch of spoilers now, because you will see things that will happen later in the story, stuff like that. But yeah, we thought about something and it works out fine.
Release date is coming up, slowly but surely. How does it feel? Are you ready to unleash the zombies on the world?
Oh yes, I'm really happy about that. Trust me.